I don't know of anybody that's listening to this program who can say, I've never been to a pasta house. Now 52 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, an iconic brand, throughout St. Louis and Missouri, really. I mean, for over 50 years, and we're just keep going.
You know the story about the name? How did they come up with that?
Well, when Dad and his two partners at the time, John Ferrara, Kim Tucci, when they broke away from the Rich and Charlie's guys, they had already rebranded because Richard Ronzio and Charlie Mongavero were out. Charlie had died in a plane crash, unfortunately, him and his wife. And then Richard was out. He got out. And they had already started kind of a rebranding process. And so when they had the separation from the two other Rich and Charlie's guys, Emil Pozzo and Marty Ronzio, they went ahead and they took off with the Pasta House Company brand. And the rest is history.
Yeah. Why did the Pasta House explode and Rich and Charlie's did not, even though it was a fine place with good people?
I don't know. I guess just a little bit different idea.
Well, you had the three guys.
Yeah, and we had three guys.
Talents. Describe the three.
Yeah, I think the reason it worked is because each guy had their lane. You had Kim was in marketing. He handled all the marketing. John handled all the operations, food, all that kind of thing. And then my dad, with his carpentry background, his construction background, he handled all the design, build of all the restaurants, all the services that serve the restaurants and whatnot. So everybody just kind of had their pocket to take care of, and it just worked, which was kind of odd because it was an odd number of partners. It was three of them. And partnerships are, they're hard, as people know. And
they got along, and they were really good friends, right?
They did, yeah.
Did they ever have big conflicts?
I'm sure they did. But, I'm sure there were, I'm sure they had disagreements, but you work them out and you move forward and go on. I mean, they were together for a long time, so.
And your dad is 87, still as sharp as a tack. When he built the one in Kirkwood, your newest one, a few years back, he was actually there every day with the construction in his mid-80s.
Yeah, he's a general contractor, So whenever they build a restaurant or do a remodel or whatnot, or something needs to be done, if something's, something needs, a bathroom needs to be redone, or maybe they want to redo the bar, he's right in the mix of all of it. He's there every day overseeing it, and he has his crew, one of which is our cousin Joe Caputa, who does a great job for us, kind of our maintenance guy and a builder in his own right. So it just works. It's just, it just keeps on chugging along.
Connor, who played football at Clayton, I asked him about Pasta House. That was their pregame meal.
Oh, yeah. Monday nights.
Yeah. Oh, well, the Monday night all-you-can-eat was, we almost put you out of business.
Yeah.
I got a Facebook post from a guy I haven't heard from in 40 years. He just moved back to St. Louis, and he just Facebooked me, and he said, do you know if the Pasta House still has the all-you-can-eat on Mondays? So that was a legend.
It's just kids now. Kids eat free on Monday.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Well, I want to talk about the salad, because Connor and I were talking about it earlier. Look, there were still thousands of restaurants in the St. Louis area, but why did the Pasta House salad take off? Was that a Ferrara Tucci?
It's like I say, it's often replicated but never duplicated. I mean, different restaurants have tried to copy it. People try to copy it at home, and they always say we just can't quite get it right, But it was something that actually Charlie Mongavero came up with. The Charlie of Rich and Charlie.
Mixing the dressings?
He was messing around. Dad tells the story. He was messing around in the kitchen one day, and Dad was back there with him. He goes, try this. He's throwing Parmesan cheese in there and everything else. And he's like, what are you doing? So they tried it and said, you know what? This is really good. And so that's how it took off. And it's been, one of the staples of the Pasta House Company moving forward.
Joe Fresta is with us. We're excited. We're talking about the Pasta House, and we're really excited about this concept. You're back in the business. You're handling a lot of the marketing. You're getting heavily involved with your father, and now you're bringing back the pizza from Bastiano's, which was a long time ago. Tell me about this whole story.
Yeah, little known fact, my father was in the pizza business before he was in the pasta business, and it was called Bastiano's. His father, Sebastiano,
okay.
He opened it, and then my dad took it over from him. It opened in 1964. It was on the Hill. It was in it's where Lou Bacardi's is now on the hill, and it was kind of a family affair. My Aunt Ann Caputo made the sauce. They had a special recipe sauce, and a gentleman by the name of Vic Junta was an outstanding pizza man. Anybody in the pizza business back in the day would know who Vic Junta was, and he worked for my father. And he was that guy that would get in there early. My mom would go up the street. We lived right down the street on Magnolia when I was, and she'd walk me up there and open up for Vic, and he'd go in there and he'd start prepping all the everything for the day and the night. And he was one of those guys that would toss the pizza in the window,
really?
So twirl it on his finger and all that kind of thing, and because back then it was a hand tossed product. But he was in that business for about, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years maybe. And then when he got into the restaurant business, he had to give it up, and he sold the pizza place to his cousin, Carlo LaMarca.
So you're having Bastiano's Pizza at Pasta Houses right now, or when does it start?
We're rebranding it. It's always been the recipe, the same sauce. The crust isn't the same. We use Vitale Bakery, which is, I've not come across a better pizza crust since. It's very good. But everything else is the same. It's a St. Louis style pizza cheese that we use. Sauce, the same fresh product, fresh ingredients, toppings, and it's just an ode back to my dad being in the pizza business, and I call it the best kept secret in town. Pasta House Company pizza. It's very good.
People don't think Pizza Pasta House,
no,
but
they don't.
It really is good.
No, they don't. And people have had it. They know.
The best dish I think you have is the fish.
Pesce alla Fresta or the Sicilian grilled pesce. That's your favorite.
Yeah. So what goes into that one?
Well, it's a cod. It's a white fish, and it's just very easily. It's a special breadcrumb. It's dusted, and a little olive oil, and it's grilled on the broiler, and then away you go. Served on the plate. Fabulous.
Okay, we're getting a lot of questions about the Pasta House. Will the one in Arnold reopen soon? Yeah,
those guys have had some bad luck. They've gotten hit by not one tornado, but two in their history. So they're trying to get back up on their feet. It's been a bit of a struggle, as we know. I mean, we had the tornado that hit in the city, and so they're trying to get back up on their feet. But they will be back in business. It's just taking a little bit of time.
Here's another one. What about the calamari, which you guys really did such a wonderful job with? Is that sold at any pasta houses now?
There are a lot of dishes that we move on and off the menu. We take them off and bring different things in, but they never go away totally. We'll bring it back on, when it goes away, it'll come back. Kind of like our chicken spadini, fabulous dish. But that's one of those things we move in and off the menu at times.
Speaking of
keep things fresh.
Yeah, you're about to open up another one?
Yeah, we're going to go back into the Cape Girardeau market. We had a store there years ago, back in the 80s, and we've already, we signed a deal, we inked it up, and we're going to be back in the Cape market. So we're excited about that. That'll be store number 14.
I don't know if I've ever asked you or your dad this. At its hottest, which location did the best? Let me take two guesses. One would be Frontenac at one time, and the other would be Del Mar. But what was the hottest one ever?
I think the hottest one ever was probably, and still is, South Lindbergh.
Oh, okay.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's been there so long. It's a freestanding building. A lot of regulars. It's almost generational now. It's been there so long, and families just go back there all the time and time again.
We used to do the radio show, the one on Del Mar, and Kim Tucci and I would always have he would be there, the fagotini with the chicken livers or gizzards.
Yeah, linguine with chicken livers. Yeah, it's still on the menu.
And nobody likes that except like a hardcore Italian.
That's right.
Yeah,
or stuffed artichokes.
Yeah. How about the offices? When I'd go to your offices, like Kim would be like just making breakfast for himself while he's there. Do you still have those around Oakland or no?
We used to be on the hill. We're now in the basement of our Creve Coeur location. So we're down underneath the restaurant. So used to be on the hill. We were on our last stop was on Macklin Avenue, and then before that we were actually on Marconi. when they first started.
Okay, you also are involved with limoncello, Fresta's
Yeah,
limoncello, which
yeah.
is really one of the best after-dinner drinks. Tell me about where you can buy it and why this is really
Fresta limoncello is a great product. It's all natural. If you put it up against, if you notice in the grocery store, my limoncello is more of a clear color.
Yes.
It's not glow-in-the-dark yellow like the other ones. It's got a lot of food coloring, a lot of artificial flavoring and whatnot. It's an all-natural product. It's gluten-free, and people just love it. I was adamant about having less sugar, a little bit less sugar. First thing people say about it and what they love about it is the least amount of sugar content, and it's available at Straub's. Thanks to your brother Doug.
Yeah.
Love that guy. And Schnucks, Dierberg's, Total Wine. Where else? Randall's, Friar Tuck's, and a lot of different restaurants around the St. Louis area. So it's done very well. It's only a little over. It's about 2.5 years old. So, or no, I'm sorry, 1.5 years old. And it's just doing great. I'm in the middle of distillers right now, but that'll be rectified pretty soon here. I'm guessing. So we'll be back up and running.
Yeah, I love how you marketed it. You didn't have to get anybody involved. Since you go to restaurants every night, you just would tell the owner, hey, I need you to put this in here, and they would do it.
Put the arm on them.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of text here about the Pasta House. We need a Florissant location. Have you ever looked into that?
Yeah, we had one there, but we did have one there, but it was, I think the lease had come up, and we just had made the decision that we wanted to pull out. There was we had problems with, help. It was an issue. It was a difficult location to operate, mostly because of help. It was just, it's tough in the restaurant. It's in any industry right now.
We drive all the way to Edwardsville for our Pasta House fix for us. East Siders absolutely love the Pasta House. 618 are texting in.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's a household name here in St. Louis. It's been around, as you said, over 50 years, and it's just as iconic a brand as anyone here in the St. Louis area.
Yeah. One final thought about your dad, who I don't know anybody that knows him that doesn't love him. He's written a book there.
Yeah.
Just tell me what he's meant to you and just what kind of guy. Your mom and dad, what a marriage, what a romance.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate to have them both as my parents. Great role models. My mom in her own way, my dad in his. It just sort of was a great combination, good team effort. And, I've learned a little bit of something from either one of them. It just kind of has made me who I am today. And my dad, my work ethic and how to treat people. And I think the biggest thing was never forget where you came from. And I think my dad has always lived that. And as you know, he was born and raised on the Hill and still goes back and spends a ton of time in the old neighborhood where he grew up.
Good stuff. Good to see you, Joe. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you guys.